Welcome to Bus Notes. I'm Vinnie Nardiello. I'm a teacher, I'm a comedian, and once again, you're the student who hasn't read the book, hasn't done the study guide. You've never learned your lesson. But I don't want you to. I don't want you to learn, because then we wouldn't have a show. It's Bus Notes. Today we're looking at Life of Pi by Yann Martel. It's a story of Pi Patel, a young boy stuck in a lifeboat with a ferocious tiger. Pretty scary stuff, right? Almost as scary as being on a school bus knowing you have a test coming up and you might fail. Don't worry, here's 5 things you'll need to know to convince your teacher that you read Life of Pi. Number 1, people to know. Alright, we have Pi Patel. His full name is Pissing Patel. He's named after a swimming pool, actually, and everybody calls him, I'll just say Pissing Patel, right? That's the nickname that the kids give him. He grew up in a zoo, not as an animal, as the son of the owners of the zoo in Pondicherry, India. Now, his family has to leave India. There's martial law that gets declared. They're worried they're going to lose everything, so they set sail. They're going to find a new life in Canada. Yes, Canada. My students who wouldn't read, who just kind of skimmed the notes, they would always say they're going to America. No, it's Canada. All right, it's a way to let your teacher know that you actually read, kind of. He's on the ship with his family, his father, his mother, his brother, when there's an explosion. And the ship sinks. However, he winds up on a lifeboat. And who's on the lifeboat with him? The zoo animals that they were bringing over to Canada, right? We have an orangutan. We have a zebra. We have a hyena. And we have Richard Parker. Richard Parker is a tiger. After a while, the other animals die, and it's just Pi and Richard Parker stuck out on the sea. The two of them together, all right? And he has to learn how to control, how to live with Richard Parker so he can survive. Number 2, religion. Pi has 2 passions, okay? We'll get into the second passion later. But first we have religion. Pi adopts 3 religions at once, all right? He's born a Hindu, then he finds Islam and Christianity. And without his parents knowing, he practices all 3 religions. He believes that religion gives you peace of mind. All right, now there's a question, can you be all of those religions? That's not really something that I even necessarily know the answer to. That'd be your own opinion. Maybe you can, maybe not. I don't know. Do they cancel each other out? But he believes that religion, the main thing it gives you is freedom. Now that may run against conventional wisdom of religion. There's a lot of rules in religion. When we hear rules, we don't think of freedom and rules as being things that go together. But he believes that it gives you peace of mind. With peace of mind comes freedom. If you believe something is out of your hands, if you believe that right now these things are in God's hands, for example, now you have the freedom, the peace of mind to do your job, to not worry. Any kind of tragedy that befalls you, you could just believe that God is there taking care of you. And there you have that freedom. Number 3, animals. That's his other passion. This is my dog, Ruby. Oh, I love Ruby. And you know what? I think that Ruby loves me back. Right? You love me back, don't you? However, Pi is of the opinion that we project our own feelings onto animals. And when we say we love an animal, they don't really love us back. It's just us, mirroring our own feelings. Right? I don't think that's true, though, Ruby. I know you love me. Mwah. Oh, you're so cute. Such a good girl. Anyway, so his passion, like we said, are animals and the zoo. All right? Now, he also believes that zoos give us freedom. And we feel bad for animals in the zoo. We go, they don't have freedom. But that's, once again, just our feelings on them. In actuality, animals get more freedom from being in the zoo. They're fed. They never have to worry about the climate. They never have to worry about meals. They don't have to worry about predators. They simply get to exist in the zoo. And just like the way religion brings you peace of mind, freedom there, an animal in a zoo also has peace of mind. Now, I don't really know if I buy this, to be honest with you. Okay? Maybe it's just a way of feeling better about the fact that we have animals in a zoo. I don't know. But that's Pi's belief, that religion and zoos both bring us peace of mind, and with peace of mind comes freedom. Number 4, the twist. There's a twist, a big twist. Remember how I said that Pi was on a little lifeboat with a tiger, an orangutan, a zebra, all right, and a hyena? That's not the case, all right? he's telling his story to Yann Martel. Yann Martel is actually another character. The author makes himself a character in the book. And he's telling him this story. Okay, he's telling the story about being with all these animals. However, it actually comes out that Pi is using symbolism. Something tragic has happened. Okay, so Pi was actually on the boat with humans that were represented by each animal. We have a young sailor who's badly injured, and he becomes the zebra. Okay, this zebra is attacked, all right, mutilated by a hyena who's a bloodthirsty cook that is stuck on the boat with him. Okay, this French cook who is willing to butcher anybody just to stay alive. In fact, the person that he butchers, and this is awful, is Pi's mother, represented by the orangutan. The orangutan is an older maternal orangutan. She has young boys. So his mother becomes the orangutan, who is killed by the French cook. And then Pi, in anger, kills the cook himself. Okay? Now, Pi, at this point, even though he says he had to coexist with Richard Parker, he is also Richard Parker. He had to become like Richard Parker in order to survive. Okay? In order to, fight the elements. He still survived. That part of the story is true. He survived at sea. He had to be Richard Parker. Now, when I was teaching this book years ago, I still remember, I gave the book out to my class. I told them, tonight, you will read the first chapter. The next day, I was out sick. The substitute came in. The sub told them the twist, revealed the twist. They only read the first chapter. All right? I was not too happy. I requested this sub never sub my class again, and my request was not honored. Number 5, storytelling. So why does Pi tell this far-fetched story? In the beginning of the story, told by Yann Martel, that the reason he was introduced to Pi was he was looking for a story, and somebody said, this story, meet Pi Patel. This story will make you believe in God. Okay? Now, again, why does he tell this story? Well, think about the truth of what happened to him. He saw his family die on the ship that went down. He was stuck with his mother, and his mother was killed before his eyes, all right? He saw his mother eaten by sharks. Her remains were thrown over and eaten by sharks. This is a traumatic event, a traumatic story. Yet Pi, we see that he comes out okay. He has a normal job teaching at a college. He's married with kids. All right, what would have been a story that nobody would blame this guy if he was completely ruined by these events. However, by concocting this story, by believing in this story, he's able to have a life. He's able to overcome the trauma. All right, so maybe this is something that makes you believe in God. Maybe God itself is a story that, gives you hope. All right, that allows you to overcome whatever trauma you have in your life. By believing in religion and believing in stories, there's a strength and power that comes from stories and comes from belief. Bonus. Martel kind of stole this story. All right, there had been another story called Max and the Cats about a boy stuck on a lifeboat with a jaguar. Very, very different than a tiger, right? So he's stuck on this boat with a jaguar. All right. Now, there have been a couple of reviews that were published in the New York Times. Martel says he never read the book. He only read the reviews. And the reviews are what inspired him. All right, inspired, stolen, it's all how you want to really look at it, I guess. This book never got the kind of critical acclaim that Life of Pi did. Life of Pi is a better book, better reviewed book, better considered book, even if it's not the original story. And if you want to put some kind of happy spin on it, hardly anybody read Max and the Cats. It hardly sold any books. But with the attention it received as the stolen book, people read it. The sales went up. It got more attention as a book that was stolen than it did in its own existence. So, good, I guess. All right, well, that's it for Bus Notes. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to leave us comments about books that you want us to cover in the future. Follow us on social media. Share. Let everybody know about it, okay? It's Bus Notes, and let's get that C together.